chat gone? I just lost my chat. Okay. So there's a bit of an echo. Hopefully that's better for you guys. So someone just said, okay, thanks. Oh yeah, remember Hannah, you messaged me. You did message me a while ago, I remember you. So okay, this is good. So I'll fire it off. Actually, okay, perfect. I just lowered the volume. Thank you. Thanks for the feedback, guys. Appreciate it. So it's interesting, actually, in the media lately, there's been a lot of plane accidents. Have you seen that plane accident come up in the media? And it was apparently Year of the Snake is a lot to do with, it's a travel star, right, in Chinese astrology. So it has a lot to do with accidents and things like this. And I remember I was reading an article of someone who, it was a Year of the Snake, and I remember previously in things I've looked at over the years, the Year of the Snake, it's interesting what's happened, because the snake is considered seasonal fire and is part of fire element combination. In a seasonal fire combination, but it's also part of metal element combination as well. So I think what's really important for this year, I think it's going to be, the energies of the years are shifting from yang to yin, which is going to make it a more of an introverted year. It's going to be more connected to getting very creative. And the ancient Chinese would look at the heavenly stem, they would look at it symbolically, like yang wood's like a tree, yin wood's like bamboo, shifting, easily to change. And it's flexible and adaptive. And wood types primarily in Chinese astrology are connected to, especially yin wood, can be medicine, herbal medicine, the fashion, media and textiles type thing. But I also think that this energy coming in is definitely going to be a reflective and creative year. And it depending on how this snake and this yin wood stem connects to the chart. So a lot of people, when they don't understand Chinese astrology, right, we've got the heavenly stems, which are the 5 elements, and they call them the yin and yang counterparts. So you can have yin wood, yin fire, yang fire, yin earth, yang earth, this kind of thing. And then we've got the animal branches, which follow a Jupiterian cycle, right? It's a 12-year cycle. So the year of the number 12 is really important in Chinese astrology, as well as the sexagenary cycle, which is the age of 60, which I think I talked about in my Year of the Snake thing. So the sexagenary cycle is really important, because this is when we all move through this heavenly stem and branch configuration, and it comes back to repeat the cycle again. So whatever year we're born in, at the age of 60, it comes back to us at that time. And so if people have got questions about Chinese astrology and how it works, then by all means really go for it, because I want to make it a little bit more interactive for those that are on here, because I think the energies of the year are really affected by our charts, right? And there's a few people that I've got a few dates of birth here that some people gave me, and I'll go through that in a sec. But I think fire element is going to rule. Metal element actually rules banking. Fire element's connected to stock, so I think there's going to be increases in people more investing in things like cryptocurrency and things like this, because we're in the age of 9 now, which comes out of the feng shui type scenario. We're in the age of 8 for a long time, which was considered earth in the one of the I Ching hexagrams. And now we've moved into the age of 5 to the I Ching hexagram, which is connected to Li, which is a lot to do with, in my opinion, the spirit of the entrepreneur is going to really come out in this next 20-year cycle. And it's very interesting how this has kind of happened at the same time Pluto's ingressed into Aquarius on that planetary astrology level. But I also think that the change and shift into this Li and this fire energy, we're not going to have that stability that's been going on when it comes in terms of having now 9-to-5 jobs and this kind of thing. What's going to really happen is things are going to we're going to have to rely on multiple streams of incomes and multiple ways of investing money and things like this. And I think the snake symbolically represents that, because it's connected to the fire element, the seasonal fire combination, which is connected to the stock and investing in market. And I think it's the rise of the spiritual of the entrepreneur, because wood element generally, right, yin wood, yang wood, is ruled by Jupiter. There's a strong Jupiterian energy, which is very goal orientated, and it represents the spirit of the entrepreneur, because Jupiter's in a very expansive energy, and the stems really represent that kind of thing as well. But most importantly, like I said, we've got to tap into how this plays out in our charts, right? Because there's a number of ways. Now, I think I'm just going to jump into it, because I think maybe a few of you are on. You don't want to hear me rant on too much about. If there's any questions about the year and you want to know how it's going to manifest for you, then it's always important to look at your 4 pillars chart. And so it's funny, because sometimes I've tended to do more lives on Instagram than YouTube, but I much prefer YouTube as a platform. But I also, it's funny when people send in stuff, how similar charts are. So are stems the aspects? Yeah, stems and branches can be aspects. When we talk about there's a clash between the stems, or there's a clash between the branches, or there's a combination between the branches, they're like aspects in planetary astrology, I guess, like a trine, a square, and an opposition, things like this. So yeah, they are aspects, and they sometimes I always do, when I do chart readings, I always do Chinese astrology and planetary astrology. Why? The reason for this is when I studied years ago Chinese medicine, I studied Bazi, and I spent a lot of time in Taiwan, because my ex-wife was from Taiwan. She was from that place, so I spent a lot of time there. And in China, and particularly Taiwan, to be a Chinese medical doctor and practitioner, it's not just about understanding acupuncture and herbal medicine. They have what they call the 8 limbs of Chinese medicine, and one of the 8 limbs is Chinese astrology. So this is really, really important. And the feng shui and the Bazi, Chinese astrology, is their metaphysics. It's actually their psychology, and it's a very serious subject, actually, you know. So people take it extremely seriously. And I love this subject, and I think it's one that really hasn't been talked about so much. It's hard to get good info on. And like with all charts, pattern recognition becomes important. So hopefully I don't get too academic with what I tell you guys, but I'm not sure how to share my screens on a live yet. So anyway, let me just go through something here, because someone gave me a date of birth. It was the 25th of the 5th, 1971, and it was 3:30 a.m. So now this person's born in the year of the yin metal pig. So obviously the snake and pig clash, right, from a stems and branch point of view. And so I guess in maybe pop Chinese astrology, people would say, oh, you know, there's a clash for the year, this is not so good. I don't look at things like this, because I mean, it's not that I don't take note of it, but the year pillar we're born in relates really to the first, say, 15-20 years of life. So yeah, okay, someone said metaphysics has become my psychology too. Yeah, and it really is, right? Astrology really is psychology. Astrology is a sacred science, but we've become very detached from this way of thinking these days, and this is why I love this. So this person, I'm not sure if it's a male or female, so forgive me if I didn't have that data. But anyway, So you're born in year of the yin metal pig, right? And in the month pillar, there's a yang horse, a yang wood horse. And in the day pillar, and the day pillar is the pivotal point, right, when it comes to Chinese astrology. This person's born on a yang metal dog day, right? So this person, listen, okay, female, we're dealing with a female, okay, thank you. Yang metal dog, and in the hour pillar we have the yang earth tiger. And I was looking at this chart and I'm thinking, wow, this is pretty interesting, right? So a woman born on a yang metal day, right? This is really important in Chinese astrology. Because the day pillar is the whole pivotal point of the chart. This is how we work out whether you're using, yeah, you love dogs too. Well, yeah, I got to tell you, just in a nutshell, you're a really strong character. Because you're born on one of the, what they call the commanding pillar days, right? One of these, it's what they call a Phi Kong, or a commanding pillar day, which can give people a lot of strength and resilience. It's a very, very, ancient Chinese would look at this, and someone born on these days, they would make them either a general in an army or something like this, right? Make them a leader. And so I'm not sure what it is you do for work, because you've got the tiger, the dog, and the horse in a 4 pillars chart represents a 4. It's a fire element combination trio, right? So yes, you're using power element, right? Because metal to fire is the power element, which can give you public status and recognition, or a leadership role of some kind in either a corporation or something like this. And so you're really using fire element, which really means that you're most favored. I'm a channel for an ancient ascended master now. Okay. Well, this is interesting, because if you want to look at it on this level, right, power, so you're really using fire, so your favorable elements are fire and wood. What? Because wood supports the power, followed by earth, right? This is how we look at it in Chinese astrology. But I would say there's a concept in your chart that is, well, firstly, on a mundane level, right, in connection with the inward snake year for you, right? So the snake clashes with the pig, but the metal element stem combines with the yin wood, which is a money element combination, which is auspicious for earning for the year. The ancient Chinese would say this, right? When their day masters combine with that, and because the wood element to a metal type is your money and your wealth. So this kind of thing, which is highly auspicious. But there's another thing too, right, which I'm going to just quickly touch on in your chart, which is a concept that you have, is what they call the 3 mystics. There's a 3 mystical configuration, right, in your chart between the stems. And your 3 mystical combination, are you quite well known for what you do? Because the 3 mystical configuration, particularly this one, can give you a lot of recognition out into the public. And also the 3 mystical configuration can also mean that you just have a very good, happy life as well. So, but this year, I would say for you, there's usually when the day master combines with and whatever the year represents for them, so yin wood element to a metal type is money, right? So there can be an increase or an opportunity to come your way this year. But primarily you are working with your very strong energy, right? Yes, I'm known. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because that 3 mystical configuration that comes in this chart particularly can be what they call people can get famous. I've seen this a lot. Yeah, so one thing to consider. But what else was I going to say? But yeah, primarily you're using fire. So this year for you will be significant in some way, particularly because of the Daymaster combination. And I tend to be big, powerful. I tend to meet big, powerful, intuitive, and they find me too competitive. Yeah, you know, the reason why you've got a Phi Kong day pillar, right, which is extremely strong for women. And sometimes that can be intimidating for men, right? Because it can be maybe even a little bit more internally masculine on some level, or you're a doer. This kind of chart is a real, you know, really love working, and they usually work hard. Phi Kong pillars can take a lot of pressure and work under a lot of pressure. And yeah, you probably have a tendency to attract big and powerful people. Yeah, and they probably find you competitive. Yeah, because naturally, by trade, right? Yeah, you're quite resilient on that level. There's a few other things I could go into, but I'm just mindful. I just don't want to talk about too many personal things, you know, right? When it's public. But yeah, but primarily, yeah, you got the fire combination. Yes, I work 24/7, 100%. It's a very, very hard-working pillar. Yeah, and women, you know, who born under this. You know, the yang horse, sorry, the yang metal dog day you're born on is actually what you're sitting on a red charm star. So it can make you actually quite charming and appealing as well. So it sounds like, yeah, you're working very hard round the clock, huh? So yeah, so I don't know, how do you go with women? How do you go working? You see, women who follow power element like this tend to enjoy the company of men more than women, because power element in a woman's chart is a man. Yeah. So, you know, it just all depends on what happens, you know, in this kind of scenario. But I'll move on to, there's another chart, and I'm not sure if this person's listening or not, but I'll just read out the date of birth. Everyone who's just gave me the date of birth is using fire element, which I find, it always happens sometimes when I do lives. I get the, because I mainly do the lives on Instagram or whatever. Yeah, women are too soft for you. Yeah, 100%. You're tough. Really tough. It's a really great resilience, the Phi Kong pillars. I think I did a talk on resilience in the horoscope on my channel. If you listen to that talk, I really go right into explaining about the Phi Kong energies. So you can listen to that, and you'll get some good info about that on my channel. It's up there. It's called Resilience in the Horoscope. I think I went through the famous guy, who is the famous guy who wrote, Alexander Solzhenitsyn, who wrote Warning to the West, and, you know, went through all the Gulag camps and things like this, and he was born on one of these Phi Kong pillar days. I thought he was a really great example. But yeah, check it out on my channel. You'll get a lot out of that talk, and to understand yourself a bit better. But there's another, I'm not sure these people are male or female. But someone wrote in the 15th of the 6th, 89. I'm not sure, but this is someone who's born in the Yin snake year, and also has a Yang metal horse month, and born in the day of Yang fire, the Yang fire horse. Wow, so 2 horses in the chart, and born on a pure fire pillar day, Yang fire horse year, which is, we're going to move into those energies next year, right? The horses coming in. And the horse's peak of fire, the horse is the peak of fire. They talk about the 4 peaks in astrology, and some people can have the 4 peaks in the chart, which is highly auspicious. And the reason they're called the 4 peaks is they're the peaks of every season. So the horse is the peak of summer, the rooster is the peak of autumn, the rabbit's the peak of spring, and the rat is the peak of winter. And they've all got the hidden stems within the branches as well that indicate this. And also, so this person again, right, you know, is using fire, and fire is ruled by Mars, obviously, right? The Chinese do assign things to planets. So there's a strong Martian energy. But this person is what they call, in a nutshell, that yang fire. Yang fire, from a heavenly stem point of view, right, is like the sun. It's like they're really warm, they're really, you know, easy kind of to get on with. They're just warm people. Well, a lot of people are attracted to them, this kind of thing. This person is actually what they call, from a Chinese astrological point of view, dominant fire, because it's in the peak of fire season and really, really strong fire. And that means people, when they're dominant in the element, are usually going to be using the elements of wood, fire, and earth. They're their most favorable elements. But when they're dominant, it's very easy for these people to make it on their own. Very independent. And yeah. And this person also is born on what they call, it's one of the 10 smart days in Chinese astrology, the Yang Fire Horse. And of course, you know, how's the snake going to affect this person for the year, right? Well, there's already a snake in the chart. So sometimes when two snakes come in, depending on the elements you're using, right? But the snake is considered what they call an up and down configuration. So there can be a lot of highs and lows, right? And I'd say that this person might be in for a bit of a rocky ride this year, but that's not a negative thing. But because metal element's not so favorable, and the snake's about a part of metal element combination, so there could be a lot of highs and lows. And so we can look at another thing going on here with this person, because they're born in the month of the Yang metal horse, right? And so that Yang metal is combining to the wood element, right? So I'd be wondering if this person's father is still around, what's going on with the father, because there's some kind of combining away. And I don't want to say too much around that, but this is like how we can look at things in Chinese astrology, because I'm just trying to teach, put it in people's minds how we look at things in charts. But this person's dominant fire, really capable. So if they know me, they want to reach out, they can contact me for further. And you know, and this person, right, there's literal translations, right, of the days, which are really symbolic and important, right? So one of the translations for Yang Fire Horse Day, if I remember, is the sun and moon light up the sky. Like the ancient Chinese have these names, right? But there's a translation in it that these people like depend on themselves rather than friends and family, and that's a great summary of someone who's like dominant in their self element. They can really have no problem making it on their own, you know. There's another one, I think it was the 7th of the 11th of 1988, 10:37 a.m. And so let's just have a look at this. I'm drinking my green tea. I just had a really busy morning, one of those crazy mornings in clinic where people booked in and I had to do quite a few treatments. Anyway, so we're born, this is someone who's actually born in the Yang Earth Dragon year. And we can see that there is, what have we got in the month? We've got Yang Water Dog. Okay, Hannah, Hannah, yep. Okay, that's you. Yang, do you know your Bazi chart? Have you done this before? Yang Earth Dog year, day, this is another Yang Fire. Daymaster, Yang Fire Daymaster sitting on the tiger. And then in the hour pillar we've got Yin Water sitting on the snake. So Uh, well, this is interesting because I can get some feedback from you, right? You're dominant fire. So, yeah. I know you've never done this. So, well, okay. For you to know, do you get shoulder problems? Do you have any problems with the shoulders or blood circulation? You can answer me whenever you like. If you, no, but you're another one, right? Who's because the tiger and the dog together is a partial fire element combination. So you're using fire, and you're actually a pretty, I would say, a strong independent woman because you're dominant fire yourself. Only just recently have you had the shoulder problem? Dominant fire, so you're a capable woman. You should be able to make it easily on your own out in the world. Also, ton of injuries. Yeah, I can see that. And the reason why I can see that in the chart is because you've got this clash between the yang fire and the yang water stem. And that can affect sometimes blood circulation. But what's usually in the stems when it comes to injury or medical? Yeah, right shoulder, right? Yeah, I can see that coming up. Yeah. So yeah, strong independent. Yeah, for sure. You're really strong. And you actually sit on a study hall star. So there's academic stars, symbolic stars when it comes to Chinese astrology or this kind of thing. You sit on a study hall star. And study hall, people who have the study halls in their chart are actually usually very good at learning in a tactile way. Can be really good with their hands, as opposed to say academic stars where it's more the mind. So I don't know if that fits with you, but what else have we got here? You've got the snake in the hour pillar. And I know it's interesting. I don't want to talk too much personally, but you can tell me if I'm. But you've actually you've got quite a few. Firstly, the yang fire tiger day is a red light pillar, and then you've also got two yin and yang mismatch pillars. And sometimes these things can make it a little bit challenging in relationship. I'm not sure if you're in one or not. That doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to have one and it's a successful one, but there may be a few challenges in between. But the cool thing about yin-yang mismatch pillars in your chart is there's remedy pillars that come up in years, which can really is auspicious when the remedy pillars come into yin and yang mismatch pillars. Red light pillars the day you're born on, they will say that you can have, when we do chart synastry, right, in Chinese astrology, it's usually if your partner has the same red light pillar in the chart, it can be really difficult. Wow. Okay, yes, that fits. My gymnastics and flute coaches both said I'm an excellent person to teach. Yeah. So yes, study hall stars, in my opinion, learn through the body, and good tactile, really good on that level. So yeah, it's and you know the day you're born on is like the translation is the ferocious tiger blocks the sun, right? So the ancient Chinese generally would say this person is not afraid of taking risks. And I think dominant people, dominant women, they can be fiercely independent. And sometimes they, you know, which is a good thing. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. This is the beauty of charts, right? They just usually reveal to us how we tick, what our needs are, so to speak. And what our needs can be in relationships and things like this, right? Obviously. So, you know, the yang fire, the yang, God, I'm talking yin and yang so much, I can't even string a sentence together now. The yin wood snake here, right? The literal translation is that is the red phoenix rises into the sky. So people born on this kind of day, and people who are born on that yin wood snake day, actually it's one of the self-made pillars days. So there's three, I think I talked about this on my Year of the Snake talk on YouTube. There's 3 self-made pillar days. And the yin wood snake is one of them. And it's very, very important to have, this is why I'm kind of doing this thing and putting it out there online, you know, and because it's important to understand how the whole chart operates, and because the generalities of saying, yo, how's the Year of the Snake turn out to me, it's very difficult, you know, unless you understand the chart. And then some of the Chinese, yeah. Oh, so Hannah, you're saying yin yang mismatched pillars help. Yeah, when the remedy years come up, yeah, 100%. They're really auspicious. Really good things usually happen. Remedy pillars, let me have a look. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's usually what they're the stems and branches there, so you guys get an idea. These are my rough old notes I've got here. Yes, but the yin and yang years, I think in your case, so one of the remedy pillars is the yin earth rooster. So if you met, you will connect people, you will really connect strongly with people who have a yin earth rooster in their chart. And one of the other ones is the yang wood horse. So those years, but those years won't be coming up for a while. Yeah, well, what's coming up for you in 2029 is a yin earth rooster year. That will be significant for you in some way. And there's other things I can get into on that level, but usually that will be considered an auspicious year for you, something to look forward to. You can hold me accountable if something doesn't, but I would say it'd be good. And if you meet someone with a yang wood horse in your chart or a yin earth rooster, it'll be really a good connection as well. This is how we look at it in Chinese astrology for synastry and chart connection. But yes, Chinese medicine, 100%. Chinese medicine is unbelievable for circulation. And Chinese medicine is, I still think about, and most of you guys in the US or Australian, I don't know, but I think Chinese medicine is still, people really don't understand how actually good it is in terms of what it can really offer people on a health perspective. It's actually amazing, but it's hard to get good practitioners. That's the downside of it. But when you do, yeah, wow, it's fantastic. So, you know, because Chinese, okay, you're in Sydney. Oh, someone's in Sydney. Oh, okay, that's great. So I'm down here in Melbourne, the most locked down city in the world, which is nothing to be proud of. But anyway, oh, New York. Who's from New York here? Did I look into your chart? I'm not sure if I did or not. Yeah. I like America. America's an exciting place. I think a lot of my audience is from America. I think Americans are very, very open to this kind of stuff. Very interested in yeah. Anyway, Chinese med, yeah, excellent for circulation, 100%. So give it a go. What I didn't mention too is also, I think it was for Hannah. Yeah, there's an up and down configuration in connection with the snake with you. So, not sure if you have children or anything like that, but the reason I say that is the hour pill is connected to children, but the snake there, so you may go through some ups and downs. have experienced some extreme highs and lows. I've personally actually got a snake in my chart, and I've already experienced the very strong ups and downs. But I'm actually using metal element in my chart, so when you're using the favorable element, the ride is not as hardcore. 2 step kids, okay. Yeah. So, yeah. But look, don't look at the, see, this is kind of one thing that pisses me off about astrology actually, is when people say, oh, you got, someone was born in year of the pig and the snake clashes with the pig, it's going to be a shit year. That's not the case. You know, astrology is not black and white. And even if we get pulled into an underworld cycle, things are difficult, you know, we go through some heavy stuff, right? Well, that's what creates character. The beauty of astrology, when you understand it, is the beauty of astrology when you understand it is you got a forecast of what's coming, and then you can psychologically prepare for things when you really understand. Summer, I didn't get the post. You posted it now, did you? Where? Yes. Good day to you. I know you said Yang Metal Water Horse, and both in the day and hour pillar. Is that right? Let me just, sorry, I need to write this down because where's my pen? So, what do you mean by using metal element? When you're using metal element, it's whether you're one of your favorable elements, right? Metal's not the most favorable for you because you're using fire, and then fire conquers metal. It's kind of your second most unfavorable element. Yeah, that's what I mean. With Chinese astro, like you always look at what elements are favorable and unfavorable. Sometimes there's certain things that can override that because obviously there's a lot of detail in this. I'm talking quite generally, but you know, there's special configurations, all this kind of stuff that can tend to override negative cycles. So yeah, it just depends. But sorry, I just want to try and write this person's date of birth. Yeah, Yang Metal Dog. Okay, Yang Metal Dog. Water Horse. Is that yin or yang water? I need to know if they're yin or yang water. Actually, I understand why some people don't want to put their date of birth, but it'd be a lot easier if they did, because then I can have a quick look and see. So yeah, just getting back to the useful elements are really important. So the person from New York, you don't, all yang pillars, all right. That's going to make you hyper extroverted. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so it's Yang Metal Dog, Yang Water Horse, and Yang Water Horse and our Yang Wood Dog. Let me just go down here. So is that correct? All Yang pillars. So we're talking Yang Metal Dog, the month and hour, sorry, the month and day are Yang Water Horse, and the hour Yang Wood Dog. So if this is the case, I don't know what's going on here, man, but everyone here is using the fire element, right? Because you've got 2 horses, which are the peak, like I said, of the 5 seasons, but water I'm not sure if this person's a male or female, but if they're Anyway, fire to a water type is the wealth element. So this person's following money. And usually people who follow the wealth element are very good and naturally intuitive of how to use this element, right? So this person is born actually on Yangwood Horse Year is one of the 9 secrets days. And I find people who are born on these kind of days, it can be 2 things, right? It can be people have something happen to them that they never really share with anyone. Yeah, Yangwood dog in the hour. Yeah. Sorry, Yangwood dog in day and hour. Well, hold on a sec. So it's Yangwood dog hour, Yangwood dog day, and so Yang water horse and Yang metal dog. Is that right? Wow, if that's the case, there's a lot of dogs in the chart. Yeah, you're right. There are, 3 red light pillars in your chart. That's interesting. Okay. So, well, then you're still using fire, right? Have you had your chart done by someone before? Because the you got 3 dogs and there's a partial fire element combination. So yeah, Yang wood. So your follow output chart, you're using fire. So you're the natural multitasker. Good. Can have a lot of yeah, right. Never married. Sorry, are you male or female? Yeah. I just can't tell from the picture because sometimes that can help just a little bit of what you're using. But follow output chart, you must be good at doing a number of things and make you a very good multitasker. Extremely good. Sometimes you can have too many interests, right? It's hard to, what's the word? Focus on the one thing, right? Because you can be good at doing a number of things. Okay. Yeah. So how did you find then the Yangwood Dragon Year? Because there's a pretty big clash going on between the dragon and the dog for you. You got 3 dogs in the chart. Did you move? That can cause a little bit of instability, right? Or the 2 dogs side by side, right, are the gateways to the underworld. I don't know if you know about this, but a lot of people I've known over the years can be quite psychic and have and especially when the dragon comes in, right? Then when the dragon clashes with the dog, people can have a lot of paranormal experiences. I've seen this, right? It's what they call the net of heaven and hell. And it's not an easy thing to go through on a psych level. Yeah. I think you would change a lot of jobs. Yeah, you get bored easily, right? Because you're interested in so many things. And I think probably one of the so-called negative things when you've got a lot of output element is you can end up being a jack of all trades and master of none. So it's really important. But I would say for you, with all that output element, you'd definitely be good at talking. That's for sure. Really good. Output element can be. And yeah, but it's amazing to me that every chart I've done that everyone's given their date of birth, everyone's using fire. This is what happens. I don't know what it is, but so yeah, everyone's got a strong Martian energy. So really, when you look at that, when I look at things like this, is firstly that you go by the archetype of the energy in a way. High blood pressure, yeah, a lot of fire can do that. And high blood pressure, acupuncture is really good for, particularly bleeding bloodletting. I do it all the time in clinic. Not many people know about this kind of stuff, but one of the piercing needles is extremely good for that kind of thing. Not that I'm giving medical advice, right, or anything, but anyway. But how was I want to know how the dragon and the dog year was for you last year of the Yangwood Dragon. Yeah, there probably would have been, I don't know if there was a lot of changes, is when you got the changes, because your whole chart has been in clash, which can make the foundation quite unstable. So and that can manifest in a few ways. That can be it can be you feel a lot of restlessness within yourself on an inner level, and then also it can create like I said, very strong psych problems, or you can be aware of psychological problems you need to take care of, right? This kind of thing. But 2 dogs in a chart is very significant in terms of one of the gateways to the underworld. The dog followed by the pig, yeah, are the gateways to the underworld. So yeah, really interesting. That's I don't know. You can give me some feedback if that sounds kind of right. I'm not sure, but yeah, a lot of red light pillars. Very restless, not sleeping. Yeah, because a lot of fire, right? Even though the fire is a favorable element for you, right? Because you're using it, but I wonder if the insomnia got worse over the year of the Yangwood Dragon because of that clash. But you know, a lot of excess heat, right, can disturb the Shen, right, or what they call the spirit, because the heart is the mind, and heart governs fire, right? This is why a lot of people, when they're affected by heat, have heart attacks. When the heart is imbalanced or has a lot, the heart's always trying to siphon heat away from it because it doesn't like it. Heart governs fire. But heart is also the emperor, right? That governs really everything in the body. It's, you know, on an esoteric level, it is connected to the imperial self, what the Taoists call the imperial self resides in the heart. This is why in acupuncture, for years, right, they never had a heart meridian. And the reason why it was like that is because no one had the right to tap into the territory of one's heart. That's sovereign territory. That's why the ancient Chinese always used the pericardium meridian. The pericardium meridian is the heart protector. Anyway, so I'm going on a rant about Chinese medicine here, but this kind of thing, right? So restlessness and not sleeping is like an imbalance of fire, can be, but obviously you need to get specific with diagnosis for that. Yeah. So I hope that helps. If anyone's got any more questions, shoot them, because I've got a little bit more time. How long have I been on for? Nearly an hour. But yeah. But yeah, so there's a lot of ways we can look at things, and I think ultimately the year, especially with people who have got the pigs in the charts, there can be a clash, right, for the year. Yeah, you're welcome, no problem. If you've got pigs in the chart, you know, people are worried about this because of the clashes and things like this, right? The pig and the snake clash, and they're travel stars, right? Both of them are travel stars, so they can indicate movement. And movement can come in when travel stars configurations come in. So the reason, you know, there's been a lot of plane accidents and things like this is the snake rules travel and fire elements kind of up in the air, and they say, you know, usually in the year of the snake there can be potentials for air traffic disasters, right? And there's been quite a lot even before the year of the snake kicked in. And but it's also the initiation of the fire season combination, and this is why obviously the fires over in America were next level. It was a bit sad what happened there in, I think, where was it, around LA, around there. And I remember the last year of the snake, because this is when my son was born, and there was a lot of fires here in Melbourne. In where I live, I'm in a fire zone, so I had to get out about 5 or 6 times that year. Okay. So, what kinds of self-care? What kinds of self-care or holistic care should I use to best help things to my chart I need to pay attention to? I think probably more so for you, I just noticed the clash between the yang fire stem and the yang water stem. So I probably just need to watch your blood circulation and the area around the shoulders, stuff like that. But you know, there's always, keep in mind though too, right? There's certain things you can pick up in astrology when it comes to this, but it's still very important to see a practitioner to get diagnosis of what's really going on, and that's important. Does the animal year change on the lunar year or our birth date? The lunar new year always changes on the new moon, and that varies, right? Around January, or it can be February. So yeah, it's definitely not our birth date. Like maybe if you get a planetary astrology reading and there's a solar return, yeah, it's definitely not on that level. So lunar new year, so this lunar new year started off in the new moon in Aquarius. I think the last three lunar new years, excuse me, started when the moon was in Aquarius. Yeah, and you know, you can get, thank you, what Chinese medicine nourishes the adrenals? Well, the adrenals are connected to the kidneys, right? The kidney yang. It's yang energy that affects the adrenals. So usually yang tonics can really help. But you know, you really need to get that pulse diagnosis to really know, because you've got to be very careful of just Chinese medicine. See, the thing is, and it's like astrology too, right? You can't really be generic with things. Like, people always ask me this question, okay, what herbs can I take for prostatitis, or what herbs can I take? I've got adrenal fatigue, but it has to be relevant to the individual's pulse. It's really important, and it's a really important thing for everyone to understand. This is why clinic and practitioners are really important, because when you've been trained well, and the beauty of the pulse diagnosis and things like this also is it's really important, because you're treating the individual. You know, medicine's become collectivized now. Well, it's run by the Brotherhood of the Snake anyway, but that's a whole topic altogether. But it's really important for to get specific individual diagnosis. That's what I'm saying, because adrenals anyway, acupuncture is fantastic for. Really good. And you know, I probably sound biased because I'm an acupuncturist, but you know what? There's nothing in Western medicine, allopathic medicine, that can give you energy. The beauty of Chinese medicine or acupuncture is you're tapping into something that is on a whole other level. When we're talking about that concept of qi, which is the ether, Wilhelm Reich called it orgon, this kind of thing, right? These kind of energies are monumental when you understand them. Ancient Chinese would say the heart's not it's not the heart that pumps blood, it's qi. It's the electric charge in the atmosphere. This is going to sound really weird, right, to some people, but I agree with it 100%. So yeah, if you want to know about adrenals and things like this, well, generally it can be the kidney yang deficiency, and you know, when the yang qi is deficient, the mind can become melancholy, and you can end up getting things like hypothyroidism and not easy to shift weight. Stuff like this can all contribute to it. And there's certain things in the medical realm you know, I mean, particularly here in Australia, we've got water fluoridation, which will kill the adrenal function. Yeah, yeah. The heart is not a pump. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and it's incredible, actually, what lies we've been told about certain things. But the heart definitely isn't, and it's a really interesting. And yeah, this is why I love this kind of stuff. Um, I've chosen just to kind of start talking about it a little bit more publicly now. But yeah, I think you know, it's really empowering to understand this kind of stuff. I mean, I did a whole series on my, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but on my, um, oh, you bought my book and learned so much. Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that. Um, I wrote that book for myself actually, but I really just wanted people to be able to understand the Chinese astro a little bit better, try and introduce the subject. So thank you, I really appreciate that. Um, what was I saying before? Um, yeah, yeah, it is. Everything I think we have been, especially about the body, there's a lot of lies. A lot of lies. And me, over the years working as a practitioner, I've seen it, just not with my patients, just well, through my patients actually. And really, this is how I came to learn and understand astrology so well. One of the reasons is my father was an engineer, and he always did financial astrology. This is how I got into planetary astrology. And when I learned the Chinese medicine, I wanted to understand the astrology. Like I said in the beginning, the metaphysical side of stuff is really, really important. But everything is upside down and backwards, and particularly because I think there's a really, it's really sad what's going on with medicine, and this is why I'm choosing to share about this stuff a lot more. Like, that's why I did my Cell Salt series on my YouTube channel, because I really want people, mainly I did that for my patients, because I wanted my patients to have a reference, because sometimes it's a lot of info. But if you've got children and family, it's just one of the best ways to understand how to cultivate your health. Yeah. Um, yeah, that's right. Dr. Tom Cohen. Okay, he wrote a book. Yeah, I didn't know that, actually. I know about him, but I don't think I've known about that book. Yeah, so, you know, the dudes like Wilhelm Reich, James de Mayo were right into, you know, studying the ether. And I think space is, the ancient Taoists will call space nutrition. You know, it's not just a dead matter out there. There's a deep healing energy quality to it that man is definitely deeply connected in, because man's rooted in nature. So yeah, there's a lot of things we can look at, you know, when it comes to health. And I think people just need to open their minds a little bit more and just be a lot more creative. And the yin wood snake here, yin wood is about looking for creative solutions. Yin wood's a very highly intuitive stem, and yeah, so, and yin wood types constitutionally, right, can be a little bit more prone to what they call liver blood deficiency, because the wood element rules the liver. And that can give rise to anxiety. And that was what I wanted to say about people who've got pigs and snakes in the chart, and when there clashes, and when there's a clash in it, it can arouse a lot of angst actually in people, because firstly they're travel stars, and right, got that, they're travel stars, and they indicate movement. But there's a pattern that I've noticed generates when people really affected by that pig and snake clash. It generates a lot of anxiety. And in Chinese medicine, the diagnosis is more the heart and kidney not communicating. And yeah, so again, acupuncture and all this kind of thing. Acupuncture, they keep crapping on about mental health and all this kind of mental health crisis. My God, there wouldn't be one if people understood, firstly, deficiencies, from cell salt point of view, and secondly, how healing acupuncture, orgone, all this kind of stuff is. Like, there's no real reason for this madness apart from it being manufactured, like the book Thomas Saz wrote, The Manufacture of Madness. Oh, Pierre says, yeah, got that book. He had... Oh, really? Did he pass away, did he? Wow. I remember seeing one of his lectures, but I don't know if it was on the Heart. It was a long time ago. Yeah, so... yeah, I hope this has been helpful for people anyway. But the whole point is, you know, there's so many great opportunities for people to take charge of their existence and take. This is why I love astrology. It gives you the momentum, or gives you the mojo to take charge of your destiny. Understand yourselves a bit better, because understand the virtue of selfishness and understand how important we all are is really important, because if we're no good to ourselves, we're no good to anyone else. You never sacrifice yourself for the herd. That's just not a good thing to do. You help people when you're empowered with your own life. That's the only way you can do it. And astrology's... All right, no, he had it from you. It's okay. I do biofeed tuning, and I'm a holistic avenue is really way more effective. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the biofield tuning is interesting, and I think yeah, I've experienced quite a few sound healings, and the biofields. I don't know, is that with the tuning forks? I've had quite the tuning fork treatment. I really rate that. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, it's another way of, you know, we're vibrational beings, so, you know, and yeah, and what else was I going to say about the inward snake? There was a few other things that that I wanted to mention that I'm not sure if I covered. Anyway, for those guys who, I do have an article. I do have an article written on it on my website as well as I think a lot of people probably tuned into the talk I did on YouTube, which was great. I appreciate that, people listening. Yeah, tuning forks, amazing. Yeah, really amazing. I find them, yeah, incredible. Really cool way of you know, looking after yourself, and really good to treat people using those things. I was going to get a set, but I'm thinking I was trying to calm myself down, because you know, can I do a chart on China one day in a live? You mean an astrological chart, like a planetary chart? I can do that. I'm definitely going to do. I've talked about this for a few years now. I just still haven't got around to it. I'm definitely going to do one on Australia, because it's my country where I'm living. Yeah, I think China's ruled by Libra, actually, if I remember correctly, on a mundane level. There's a lot of mundane stuff I really love. I don't really share so much online. The reason really for my channel is I don't really want to talk about, I mean, I'm happy to do a chart for China. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out, and I'll do it in a live. Okay, I can do that. So yeah, thanks for that. I will do, and I'm definitely going to do one on our country, Australia, particularly with what's going on, because we're the chart of Australia is monumental now that we've got this Pluto transit. Australia's got an Aquarian midheaven, and Pluto's transiting the 10th house on a Monday level. This is going to be monumental, and I think Australia by nature, if I remember, has an Aries rising, so it's ruled by Mars, but it has a very strong Capricornian signature. This is why we're so you know, we just follow, you know, rules and regulations to the nth degree, and I think that's probably why it's slow to change. Yeah, birth chart. Yeah, I will find out about that. I love the mundane stuff. I don't really launch it so much on my channel, but I want to get into things more. I think the main thing I really wanted to get out on my channel was the cell salt stuff first, so people have got good references and things. And I have been working on a book on that, but it's been very yeah, it's it's been it's coming, but it's very slow, and I just haven't there's so much going on. Yeah, no, we're not locked down anymore. No, we're not locked down anymore, but it did go on for a long time, much to the yeah, it was very interesting the last few years. Hopefully this year, there's a few monumental things that are coming up this year that I think I mentioned: the Gemini ingressing into Aquarius, and then we've got the Neptune ingressing into Aries, which I'm going to do a video on. Actually, I might do that over the weekend. Is that I definitely want to get that info out there, because that will be significant in some way. And then of course we've got a Neptune Saturn conjunction coming up, which is going to be monumental as well. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Happy listening. Oh, this is very relevant for sure. Yeah. So I think there's a number of ways, but excuse me. But I would definitely make sure I do a few more lives on my channel, because I much prefer YouTube as opposed to Instagram. I don't really like Instagram. I think YouTube's better, and I can see the chat a lot easier when I do this. So yeah, all right guys, I might leave it there because I've been going for an hour and 13, and I do have one more patient to see at 1:30 today. So any other questions, you can message me. If you guys don't know my website, it's astropillarsastrology.com. No, I think it's called astropillars actually .com.au. But obviously you guys are on my YouTube channel, so you know what it is. But I've got all the links in my videos and all that kind of thing. So if you guys want extra info, just DM me and I'm happy to. Or you got more questions, just ask me. Yeah, no worries. I'll make definitely times to do more lives, and I'm just getting kind of used to doing it because I've booked. I need to schedule it, learn how to schedule it publicly, and then put it up front for everyone, so they know when I'm going to actually do it, as opposed to just mentioning it on video. But I'll suss all that out. And thanks for listening, guys, and enjoy 2025. It's still going to be good. You know, it's going to be positive. Yeah, thanks. I love the YouTube lives too, so I'm definitely going to do more. And you guys can direct message me or something if you've got certain things you want to know about. So give me some ideas of what to talk about as well, because it's always good to have a base of something to go on as well. But yeah, 2025 year, the Inward Snake is going to be a favourable year. And even though some people, most people they're all using fire in their charts. There's Martian energy, so you people, strong drives. Martian energy, the archetype of the warrior. It's good to see. All right, guys, I'll leave it at that. And thanks for listening. I appreciate you getting on my channel and listening to my videos and subscribing and liking. Appreciate it. It's really good. I look forward to doing more. And we'll speak soon.